Today we are going to be talking about 3 mindset shifts that make musicians successful. Now, what on earth does successful mean? Well, this does need to be defined individually for the specifics, but generally we're talking about musicians who are making music they love, working with people that they love, and able to support themselves and then some while they're at it. Hey, by the way, my name's Allison. For those of you who don't know me, if you're new to the channel, welcome. So happy to have you here. If you've been around, welcome back. So delighted that you're here as well. And I am a musician. I also run this cool community called Musicians Blueprint, where we help musicians become their best. And I make these videos because I know there's a lot of musicians out there who feel slightly alone on their journey as a performance musician, and I do not want you to be one of them. So if you'd like to journey along together, please feel free to hit that subscribe button and let's get to it here. Now I'm going to start by sharing with you my approach to mindset for those of you who are skeptical, because I'm totally with you there and I want you to know where I'm coming from. So my approach to mindset is really using the scientific method. What do I mean by that? Well, I believe that the way the physical universe works is really how everything else is designed. So we can rely on similar principles to be observable. So, for example, we know certain things in science to be very well proven, very true, like gravity. Then there's other things that we don't know to be quite proven because we're still in a process of experimenting and getting to the bottom of the answer. But the underlying belief is that truth does exist and it can be discoverable with trial and error and effort. So I take the same approach to mindset. There's a lot of teachings out there, I'm not trying to put anyone down, but just the whole thing of just repeating affirmations to yourself like I am this, I am that. That's not my approach to mindset as much, because really you could be telling yourself something that's not true. Instead, I would recommend that we take an approach of testing and seeing what is true. For example, on one end of the spectrum, if you say I am no good at technology, well, is that true? That might not necessarily be the truth. You actually maybe just don't know if you're good at technology. So perhaps if you tried it, trial and error, you could see if you could become good at these technologies. So you can see how, just telling yourself you're not good at something just closes the door to the possibility, when it actually could have been the truth, that that's something that you could be good at. Now, on the other end of the spectrum, if you tell yourself, like, I can fly, and obviously you can't, then that's just not going to be healthy. So it's healthy to believe in what is true, but sometimes truth needs to be discovered. We need to test and see what's true. So that's what I want to encourage you with, just to start off. Maybe you're starting somewhere with your mindset, and you believe certain things right now that may not be true. We all believe things right now that may not be true about who we are. So having a growth mindset and becoming the people who can achieve our goals with ease is all about recognizing that, hey, maybe I'm believing something about myself that's not true, and we need to test and see what actually is true. And, it's always in the pursuit of truth, because we are humans who are built to grow and learn. And so staying in a fixed mindset of just saying you can't do things isn't the truth at the end of the day, because we all have some ability to learn and grow. That's all to different capacities, of course, but it's all built within every single one of us. So that's where my approach comes from, again, pursuing the truth. Now, since you know where I'm coming from a little bit more about my approach to mindset, I just want to take a moment to emphasize why I believe that this is such an important topic. And it just comes from really my own journey. Early on, I was in this camp of just being stuck, and I wanted to get into the camp of making progress. And I could observe very clearly that anyone I spoke to who was making progress, building their music empire or being an entrepreneur, whatever it was, they thought very differently than those who were not like me. So I knew that it was important to kind of grow into that growth mindset and to change the way that I think. And with that said, I've seen it over and over again, just with musicians I've been around or worked with, that the musicians who can really make progress the fastest and have the most impact just have a different way of thinking. And again, what is the truth? Do you have to stay in that stuck camp if that's where you are right now? I don't believe that's true. I believe that the truth is that we can learn to think differently if we want to put the effort into it. Okay, so now let's dive into the 3 mindset shifts to help us go from that fixed mindset to the growth mindset and become the musicians that we would like to be. Now, the first one is successful musicians make the mindset shift that they recognize that when something is hard, it doesn't mean that they are dumb. So we can easily fall into this trap, especially as musicians who, even when we were starting out learning our instrument, a lot of us are really natural at it in a sense, and it never felt like work because we really enjoyed it. And it can be different when we're learning other things that are needed for us to become successful for the whole package of selling and promoting our music. And an easy trap to fall into is to feel like you're dumb when something is hard. And I really want to just free you of that right now, because everyone who is on this journey of having a growth mindset and doing cool things, they all experience the effort that goes into learning new things. They've all experienced being stumped. They don't feel natural at things a lot of the time. It all comes with just persistence. So that's the first one. Just because something is hard doesn't make you dumb. It means that you're actually probably on the right track and should keep pushing through. The second mindset shift is recognizing that failure is normal and an essential opportunity to learn. Now, so many of us don't like the experience of failing, but it is consistent throughout those who are on this growth mindset journey and building new things that there's going to be a lot of bumps and failures along the way. And again, the key is just persistence that comes from knowing that the failure is essential because you learn from it, and that's how you can iterate and improve and do better next time. Everyone experiences failure, so be encouraged in that you're not the only one. And again, if you're experiencing failure, another way to look at it is what you can learn from it, how you can do better next time, and that's going to be what gets you to the next step. Third mindset shift to recognize is that every overnight success had a long journey leading up to it. And especially in the world of social media, where everyone's just sharing highlights and all the best parts of their lives, it's very easy to become discouraged and think that everyone else's life is just made up of a reel of highlights and awesome things and successes. Well, you might feel like on the other end of the spectrum where most of your time is not. Well, everyone experiences mostly mundane, boring work that they have to keep putting in order to get to those wins that happen every once in a while. So don't let the appearance of things deceive you. Any overnight success has actually had a really long trail of experiences that led up to that moment. Even if it was something that exploded at a certain point, there's always a long story that goes behind it. Okay, so that concludes our 3 mindset shifts that successful musicians make. Please let me know what you thought in the comments below. Would you like me to talk more about mindset? Mindset has undoubtedly been the most important and the most challenging aspect of my growth as a musicpreneur, and I do have more to share about it. So let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below, and if you'd like to see more on this topic in the future. But in any case, I've had a great time hanging out with you all. Looking forward to seeing you in the next video when that comes out. So yeah, stay tuned and we'll talk soon.